let's take a few minutes and have some conversation. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of December, and here's what's going on today. Jupiter and Saturn are both at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and today, pretty much right this moment, Chiron is moving direct in Aries. And so there are a couple of things to talk about, right? First of all, what does that 29 degrees mean, right? That's a big deal. It is a critical degree in astrology. And 29 is about transition. It's about moving from one energy to the next, right? And that's basically just a structural and mathematics thing. Because in astrology, right, the chart is broken down into 12 houses, 360 degrees. Each house is 30 degrees. And so as we are in the energy of that 29th degree, we are preparing to move into the next sign, the next house. In this case, we're talking about signs. In this case, we're talking about moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. And Capricorn is that energy of function and practicality and pragmatism. It's also the energy of authority and structure and requirement, right? Some might say that it's the energy of patriarchy and well, yeah, we're just going to leave that there. We're just going to drop it and say that. And so as we have these big boys, right, Saturn and Jupiter and Capricorn, and Pluto also in Capricorn, right, we began our year with the big giant conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto at 22 degrees of Capricorn, and they've done their little cha-cha-cha up in that section of the energy in Capricorn. And so we talk about structure and authority and things like that. And the energy of Aquarius is very different from this earthy Capricorn energy. We are going to feel this shift. You know, the energy is definitely, if you are a person who's at all sensitive to energy, oh Lord, you're going to feel it, right? And so there's just a few things to be kind of aware of and mindful of, right? So that 29 degrees as we sit in this precarious moment of we're about to move, but we're still here. But we're about to move, but we're still here. So for Saturn and Jupiter, right? Saturn is about that authority, that structure, those rules and boundaries and restrictions, those ones that are imposed externally, right? And through the journey of your individual lifetime, what happens is that we feel that weight, right? That externally imposed rule and structure, like you can't tell me what to do. But then as we move either toward our Saturn return or through our first Saturn return or sometimes even our second Saturn return, what happens is that we realize that by imposing our own internal structures, we're able to accomplish a lot more, and we are not bound by other people's rules if we're willing to set them for ourselves. And so, you know, at this 29 degrees, what's happening right now, what's been happening for the last 2.5 years has been setting up this, my goodness, this shift of moving away from this is how things are, this is our rigid structure, this is how things have always been. And as you've witnessed in the last few years, you know, we had Jupiter in Scorpio, which kind of set everything on fire and, you know, put us on this path toward this big shift in energy, right? And so now we have the two biggies that are questioning, that are sitting there saying, okay, it's time to move. And what has happened, right? our concept of the way that reality was structured, the way our lives were structured, the way our systems worked, the way our world functioned has been completely upended. Completely upended. I would wager to say that there's not a single person who will ever hear this message who would not agree with that, right? That 2020 was the year of ultimate shift, right? The year of ultimate shift. As I've said for quite a while, change is the new normal, right? Change is the new normal. You know, we believe that there's such a thing as structure. We believe there's such a thing as order. When in fact, when in fact the order is change, right? Change and shift. And so, so as we move through this energy, what happens is that we're in transition, for better or for worse. And the work that you've done to get here, how you have transformed your own personal ideas of structure, of order, of authority, to your own sovereign authority, to your own internal structuring of not just your life, but of your environment. You know, we have the option to curate our environments, and whether or not you've taken it is going to really, really come to bear on how you experience this shift, especially into Aquarius energy, because we are being asked. We're being required. What is required of us right now is to really figure out if you have determined what comes next, if you have decided what comes next, if you've defined what comes next, if you have delineated what comes next, right? Because that's the mandate of Saturn, right? You get to choose, you get to pick. Or it will be chosen for you. If you do not choose, it will be chosen for you. So in all the ways that you don't choose to be internally, sovereignly motivated by your own power, someone or some structure outside of you is going to do that for you. Because let's face it, I know a lot of people who say they're anarchists, but you can't live on your own. You must have community. Yeah, that's a choice that we've made. And you know what? I'll go completely and totally on record as saying that is a structure as well, right? So perhaps that's also being redefined as we move into Aquarius, which is the sign of community, the sign of togetherness, and how we deal with one another in the collective, right? So I'm just saying, perhaps that was a little bit of 29 degrees Saturn coming out of my mouth. Take it as you want it. Let's look at these cards, right? So we have the Seven of Wands and the King of Swords. The Seven of Wands is about defending, being in defense of, right? Guarding, being on guard. And the King of Swords, this is ideas, right? This is, so kings in Eileen land are one step removed, right? The queens are the full embodiment of an energy. So the Queen of Swords is all about full expression, unguarded expression, knowing the right way to express, always being in full embodiment of expression, whether it's verbal or written or however one might want, interpretive dance is a way to express, right? So the King of Swords is, he's one step back, like, yes, I know exactly what to say, but perhaps now is not the right time. And so with the Seven of Wands, sometimes there's a bit of passionate dialogue that happens with the Seven of Wands, a little bit of that, yeah, you want a piece of me? Well, the King of Swords knows when to hold back. And so as we talk about structure and authority and shifting those things, there's a delicate balance, right, of knowing what to say and when to say it and how to say a thing, and knowing your audience, right, is always kind of the best way that I have found to be in expression. Or if you don't know your audience, at least be mindful of how you're going to say what you're going to say in order to get a best result, right? Sometimes having that balance of what you're saying and what you're not saying. So the Hermit and the Ace of Cups, right? The Hermit is that card of reflection, of quiet, of really being in touch with one's own inner guidance, right? And the Ace of Cups is about feeling. It's about new feelings, new ways of experiencing emotions, and remembering that the Hermit is always guided by his own inner light, right? His light does not go out, you know, very much like the Vestal flame, which is always guided by divine love, right? That is that expression of divine love. Of course, aces, as we know, are always gifts from the divine, right? And those have to be actively accepted and acted upon. You can't just grab an ace, put it in your pocket, and be done, right? You have to do something with it. The divine does not give you a gift so that you can keep it under your light. But sometimes it's time to find that best use, right? To find that inner motivation to put those things into the world. And so as the Hermit encounters the Ace of Cups, perhaps he realizes it's time to break his silence. It's time to let his light actually shine, that he's been in rumination long enough. And the hand of the divine beckons him forward, beckons him out of the cave, right? And it's time for him to shine his light into the world, so that others may benefit, right? We've also got the gorgeous Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups. The Queen of Cups she's the only closed cup in the deck, right? And again, as we talked, the queens are the embodiment of any element's energy. And so cups are about water, and water is about feelings, right? As we've talked here, we have this burgeoning awareness of feelings that may have been not been expressed, right, for quite a while, as we've been in this Saturn and Capricorn, Jupiter and Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn energy, right? Those are there's an element of holding back, right? Of being restricted, being restrained, of being bound, right? And the Queen of Cups, this is about really being in the fullest expression of your emotions, of your feelings, of your heart-based self, of your, she's on that throne, of your divinely given heart-based awareness, right? This is emotional intelligence. This is not only how may I take care of you, but I have taken care of me as well. And the Nine of Cups, I mean, this is a card of wish fulfillment, right? This is a card of having emotional bounty, right? Of being in one's safety and security when it comes to feelings and all of those heart-based awarenesses. Like these two, it's a gorgeous pairing, right? We've got the Queen of Cups in her expression of love, and then the Nine of Cups in his awareness of that expression, right? And his security of that expression. Beautiful. Also, 9 is that end of that cycle, right? Which is definitely, as we're approaching the end of this 29 degrees, that's that tick-tock right next to as we move into Aquarius. Beautiful. So then we've got the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Wands. The Seven of Cups is about choices, right? It can be about illusion, but it can also be about really just knowing that options are available. And as we move from this 29 degrees of Capricorn, you know, it's kind of like an energy of being in a rut, right? And so as we shift into Aquarius, new ways to experience life are going to come into your awareness. There's going to be a shift in your heart, right? And look, we've got the Ace of Wands here. This is, again, another gift from the universe. These are all gifts from the universe, right? The universe is literally presenting you with 7 Aces of Cups. And so the Ace of Wands is about inspiration and passion and desire, right? So this is about getting in touch with what you want in a brand new way, in a way that perhaps you haven't felt for quite a while. Perhaps the last 2.5 years of your life, you have been bound by your ideas of structure, what should be, what shouldn't be, how things should be, what it should look like, what it should feel like, what should it taste like. And all of a sudden, you're going to come into this awareness like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? What have I been fighting for? What have I been being stubborn in this energy for? What am I actually defending, right? What am I actually defending? And do I need to change what I'm doing? Do I need to take this wand and replace it with this one? Because I can do that, right? I have the power to do that. I have the power to look at the things that I've been fighting for and say, oh, shoot, I might have been putting my energy in the wrong place, right? But we only come to that revelation after we've really had that 2.5 years to think about it. So don't think that the last 2.5 years have been for naught. Just think of it as the time where you're actually honing what you believe, right? You're honing your heart. So I want to look at all 4 of these. We're going to just do it this way. So we've got the Lovers and the Devil and the Wheel. All right, we'll do it this way. So the Lovers and the Devil, right? The Lovers is about, it's about divinely blessed love, right? And that can be about a pairing. It can be about your heart's desire, right? We've got the Ace of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Ace of Wands. It certainly can be about a relationship. It can be about a relationship that's overcome obstacles, but it's definitely about a relationship that is divinely blessed, right? This is divine union. This is twin flame. This is actual soulmate love. This is love that transcends, right? Time, that transcends place, that transcends circumstances. And so we've got the Devil. Now, we've also got the Devil here, okay? So let's talk about the Devil and what he's going to represent here. First of all, the Devil is the card of Capricorn and Saturn. Hello, here we go. So this can represent something, someone, some situation in your life, but it can also represent your beliefs about someone or something or some situation in your life. Again, this can also represent the fact that you've been fighting about something, or fighting or struggling with an idea of how something should be, right? This is what it needs to look like. This is what I've been told things must be. They have to go in this order. They have to look this way. I've got to have this much money in the bank. I've got to have this kind of job. I've got to have a relationship that looks like this. I've got to have a life that looks like this. I've got to have a vacation schedule that looks like this. I've got to have this kind of food in my refrigerator. Well, guess what? You don't. You don't. You do not. And in the last 2.5 years, you've learned some things about that. You've learned something about how things are supposed to feel, and about how you're supposed to be inspired, and about what you actually want your life to be like right? What does it feel like to be in your own wish fulfillment? Not this wish fulfillment, not the wish fulfillment of that's what it looked like yesterday. That's what I heard that it looked like. That's what my dad said that it looked like. That's what my uncle said it looked like. No, absolutely not. That is not what this energy is about. 29 degrees of Capricorn is saying, what do you want? And the Wheel of Fortune is saying, look, shit is changing, y'all. The wheel is turning. Time, Saturn is bringing you to something new. Something new, right? This ace, something new is replacing something. This Ace of Cups, something new is replacing this former internal kind of struggle you've been having, right? About what is supposed to happen versus what your heart knows is supposed to happen, right? What you know to be true, what you want to feel like. You get to pick those things out, right? There is no structure that requires you to hold on to this or to be in this energy of quiet. You know, you've done your own work. You've done your own introspective work. And you know how you want to feel. You know. And you know what? This is a card of divine blessing, right? We've got divine blessing. 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 We've got the wheel, which is everything shifts and changes. Whatever happened for a reason, because you required it, right? It was necessary. However you had to let go of these beliefs was how you had to let go of them. But it's time to move forward, right? It's time to step into your wish fulfillment. It's time to really get with the way that you want to feel, the way that you want to live your life based on your passions, your motivation, your desire. These two go hand in hand, right? There's absolutely no, I mean, the message is so clear. Goodbye, Saturn. It's been nice, right? I'm so seriously ready to go. I'll hope you find your paradise. Hope you find your paradise, right? Something about your point of view. Hope your dreams will all come true. Yeah, it's so, you take the, that's not, but okay, I'm going to stop. Wow. Yeah, 29 Saturn, y'all. Or 29. Hello, 29 Capricorn. Could I speak it properly? Damn, come to the edge. Again, we just got this one. Ooh, I love it. 39 or 36. This gives us a 9, right? Which is all about closing out cycles. Beautiful. Let's read it quick. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. Facing the unknown is the only choice you have right now if you want to progress, right? It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready for yourself for a leap of faith. It's coming. It's here. It's not even coming. It's here, right? It's here. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and your soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. Yeah, you must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. I mean, seriously, people. I'm just saying. Wow. I'm kind of having a deja vu right now. I really am having a deja vu. Bliss becomes you. People, so if you know anything about me, you know that this is my life. It's not just my saying, right? And so what this means is that as you allow the divine in your life, as you accept what the divine offers you, right? And you live your life in flow. And you not only live it in flow, but you live every moment in flow. What happens is that you become bliss, right? You literally become it as you let go of your old beliefs, the things that aren't serving you, as you let go of your struggle against defending things that no longer matter. And you let go of your fears about claiming your own truth. And you accept the fact that the path is the path is the path. You know, this is the Fool, right? This is the Fool's card in the tarot. This is the Zero card, Come to the Edge, where your entire journey is made in faith, right? And at that moment, when you step into faith and you step out of everything else, then you step as bliss, right? Then bliss does have that opportunity to become you. Ooh, y'all, 29 degrees Capricorn. Saturn and Jupiter. I didn't even talk about Chiron, did I? I guess we'll have to talk about him some other time. That is what I know. I do want to tell you one exciting thing. The hashtag Oracle deck has been created and ordered. So if you want one, let me know. Other than that, big blessings. We have more to talk about this week because there is so much going on. This is really like 2020 compressed into 7 short days. So we'll talk again. Big blessings. Get right, guys. Get right with what you want. That's really what it's all ever about, right? Yeah. All right. Blessings. Talk to you soon.